I don't think we ever sat down and blueprinted what our family would look like, ultimately, because if we had, it probably would have scared us half to death. We worked into it gradually.
What motivated us to become foster parents is my husband had actually lived in a foster home for a while, and after we got married and had a couple of our own, we agreed that if we were going to have any more children, that we would take in kids that needed foster homes. And together we just agreed that that was the direction that our family would go.
She started wanting another baby, so we revived that idea of becoming foster parents, and that's when we began the process that started 19 years ago. And, you know, as I said, we started with a baby, with one baby. And of course, starting with a baby is easy. You know, they're cute and cuddly and fun. And, but as it progressed and we became attached to the kids, then adoption just became the natural progression. It was just the right thing to do. And we couldn't have done it any other way, because you become very attached to a child. And have we had to give a few up? Yes, we've had to say goodbye to a few, and it's always difficult. It's always challenging. I would say it's almost like a death in the family. When you've had a child for a year, for example, we had one that came to us at 3.5 and left at 4.5. And we knew she wasn't going back to a better situation than she had come out of, and that was difficult. But you get used to it. It's hard to say that you get used to it, because you don't ever really get callous to it, but you know that it's part of what you do. But to build our family through adoption was just something that became a natural progression. Once you've had a child for a year, 2 years, that child becomes part of your family. And for us, I think we may have approached it a little bit differently than some foster families do. We've always had a policy that when a child comes in our home, they're family until the day they leave. We don't treat them as foster children, we treat them as our kids. They go to church with us, they eat meals with us, they go on vacation with us, and we simply could not do it any other way. So for us, adoption just kind of happened, you know. We didn't really plan it that way, but that's the way it has happened, and now, of course, we do plan it that way. We've had a lot of fun experiences. When you have 6 kids under the age of, 12, and you go to a restaurant, you get some interesting comments, especially when they're multi-ethnic. We've had people come up to us and say, "You must be a daycare." And we say, "Yeah, days, nights, weekends." We've had people come up and ask, "Are you a church youth group?" You know, as the kids got older. About half of it.
Yeah, it is.
So we've had a lot of fun experiences and a lot of interesting comments from people. And we sort of evolved toward teenagers because we had teenagers. And it was easier to take teenagers since we had teenagers.
Adoption has meant a lot, just watching, like, my parents, I guess, more or less giving themselves to kids that don't, you know, deserve more, but they can't get it from their first families. And for me, it's mean just having someone just taking you for who you are and accepting you, and just, you know, giving everything of themselves to be, you know, just like your first family.